Let's talk about passing the baton on Motivation Monday. I don't know what your experiences were like with passing the baton. Mine were pretty much limited to elementary school and the races that we'd run in PE. And I think I probably dropped the baton just as many times as I actually successfully received it. But one place where we do not want to drop the baton is in passing on our faith to the next generation. As a dad, of course, I think about my girls, my wife and I, the things that we are doing, the purposed effort that we are making to pass along our faith to our girls. And we recognize that that's work. Just like passing a baton in a race, both racers have to be running. If you stop to do that, it doesn't work. You have to be running the race together. You have to be in stride. You have to know what's coming, and you successfully hand that baton off and you keep moving and hopefully keep going even faster, accomplishing more. So we recognize it's not just going to happen on its own. So it's going to take some work. And this is on my mind because of our Together We Grow text, the curriculum that we use at the Bridgewood Church of Christ. Right now we're studying about the transition from Elijah to Elisha. Now, Elijah and Elisha are not related. They're both prophets of God. Elijah anoints Elisha in 1 Kings chapter 19. Most people would agree they spend about 7 or 8 years working together. And then in 2 Kings chapter 2, we see that Elijah is taken up to heaven and Elisha is left to continue on the work of the prophet, to continue on what's started. The last thing that Elisha asks Elijah for is a double portion of spirit, a double blessing. I need all the help that I can get in fulfilling my work as a prophet. It's interesting. Scripture actually records 14 miracles for Elijah and then 28 miracles for Elisha. Exactly double. Could just be coincidence, but it could be a very interesting take on that double blessing. So what does that mean for you and me? That's an Old Testament lesson. But we see here where Elisha actually picked up the cloak. It wasn't a baton in that context. Actually picked up the cloak and moved forward with the task. What do we have to do as parents, as fellow church members, to pass the baton of faith to the next generation? Well, I've written down here just 3 quick points for us to think about. If you want to pass the baton, you have to teach me, you have to show me, and then we have to go, right? We have to learn together, just like we would if we were passing a physical baton. We have to learn together the word. When we're sitting as a family, we answer questions, we ask questions, we show our girls, when Brianna and I find a question, we look for that answer together. We involve the girls in that process of finding the answer in the Bible, and we show them what that looks like. We model it for them. We're not perfect. None of us are, but we're striving the best that we can to teach our girls as we pass on that faith. We also do the same thing with our fellow church members there at Bridgewood. In our Bible classes, we sharpen one another with the Word. We encourage one another with Scripture. We live it out daily. And that really leads to the next point, the idea that you can teach me, but then you have to show me, right? And so if you're actually handing off a baton, right, you would actually have to have some physical practice where you actually practice what that feels like, what that looks like. How are we going to do that? And so we have to go out together and we have to practice studying the Bible together, right? We have to be in that habit. We have to practice talking to people and having conversations about the Bible. Bridgewood, one of the great places where we get that is in the pop-ups that we're doing. We are learning and having lots of practice and initiating spiritual conversations with people, taking it from physical bread to spiritual bread. We do the same with our family, whether we're sitting at the dinner table or whether we're enjoying some recreation time or we're driving down the road. We use those opportunities to teach and to show. They see in our lives what it looks like to live for Christ. And then, of course, we have to go. Let's go. The church was always commanded to go. We're not supposed to stay in the holy huddle. We're not supposed to stay in the building all the time. We're supposed to be out there living out our faith. Not living it out to be seen for our own glory, but living it out to be seen for God's glory so that people are curious, so that people are interested. Teach me. Show me. Let's go. And those are 3 steps. There's probably a whole bunch more that we could talk about. This could be a long discussion. But that's probably 3 steps that we could use to really successfully start passing the baton of faith to the next generation. I'd love to hear your comments on it, either on YouTube or Facebook. Leave them down below. If this message has been encouraging to you, I always appreciate you sharing it. I hope that you have a great week. I hope that you are working to pass the baton of faith to the next generation. God bless you.